What is up, everyone? Train Freak here, and we got the bridge finished. That's right, the bridge is in. We've got two culverts back there in the back, angled up bend there. I got the screen put back on, and you can see this is going to be a pretty cool shot with the locomotive running over the bridge. So, as you remember, 2 weeks ago, we did the bridge build. The bridge is put in. This is kind of what it looks like from an above view. And the rails should be right above the trusses, or the, well, not necessarily the trusses, but the beams going across. So I will have to do things such as, paint the ties and rust the rails and whatnot, but that's not necessarily due right now. But what we will end up doing later on is we're going to get these pipes painted. I need to make sure that these are not too low, mainly for the conveyor system. I need to make sure that when I do my water pour, the water is not going to overflow down in my pipes and not make it to the bottom of those legs, because those are supposed to be in the water. But the pond is complete. Creek over there. Now I still got to build some hills and stuff over here, so that's not going to be too difficult to do, but that will come later on. But what I wanted to show you is how did I end up making my pipes. I ended up buying some brass tubing right here. This size that I am using is, let's see here, it doesn't really tell me. It's one size under 3/16 of an inch, so I'm thinking that's going to be 5/32. So it's going to be 5/32, and I ended up using these K&S Precision Metals. These little spring things here, you can put your pipe in, and when you bend it, it doesn't kink the pipe. So I wanted to go with a little bit bigger pipe, or tubing, but the local hobby shops did not have 3/16 in stock, but I was lucky enough to get the next size down. So it will work, because once I get this plastered and whatnot, it's going to look really cool with the two pipes hanging out. And I will paint those with a rust color, probably that same dark rust that I have used on my rails in the past. And I have rusted the rails back there, and I did get started on painting some of the ties, rail tie brown, and I'll show you the difference of what Atlas Code 83 track looks like with painted ties and not painted ties. But this is some of the work that I have done. Haven't really done a whole lot, because there are some other things that I do need to focus on doing before I start doing a plaster pour or anything else like that. I'm still having some issues with the yard ladder back there. My steam locomotive, as it wants to come into the yard ladder, is wanting to derail on some of the turnouts. And what it's doing is popping up on the points. So I need to, get in there and kind of get my points a little more fouled. But because I've already enclosed this one hatch here, it's making it to where I'm having a hard time reaching from that hatch there. So I do have a plan in place, and I'll go ahead and explain that plan. And you're going to have to just ignore the mess underneath, because I've got to get this thing cleaned out. All right. So right now, this whole corner section here is being held up by this one 1x4. Yeah, 1x4. And so before I start adding plaster, which is going to add a lot of weight to this upper section, I need to find a way to get it more stabilized. And here's my thoughts. I'm going to take 3/4 inch plywood, and I'm going to use it as the fascia on this side, but I'm going to take the whole sheet and bring it down to the floor. Yeah, you can see my mess. All right, and I think if I do it That way, that's going to give me some real good stability, especially when I add the layer below. Because keep in mind, this is my dispatcher's screen as well as my production. And as I'm recording this video, I am going to be doing a live stream later, so that's why I got OBS up. But if I'm sitting down at my desk here, where a dispatcher is, they're not able to look over there and see what's happening at the roundhouse. So, and it also kind of gives that wow factor, you know, when you come in the room, you see the display, you know, first thing. You look over here, you see staging, and there's going to be 2 levels of staging. So this is the bottom deck, which just has a whole bunch of junk on it right now, because I'm not focused on the bottom level. But when you come in, the only thing that you're going to be able to see that's going to catch your eye is going to be this sawmill scene here. Alright, I plan on painting the sheet of plywood and putting, like, if not railroad signs, but maybe like pictures and stuff that I do have. You know, I will decorate that sheet of plywood. It's not going to be plain. So, but there's no switches or anything like that over there. But let me go ahead and show you what rail tie brown looks like. So that is rail tie brown. Okay, so I've already got all of that from this switch to the next switch painted with rail tie brown. Or actually, no, I don't. You can actually see where I stopped. So I will have to get back in there and get all that repainted. Once it's repainted, then I can go and ballast. When I start doing the scenery section back here, I will be working with the planning mill and the boiler house area first. And then I'll work my way this way along the backdrop, covering the hole, working the center section, and then of course we'll do the water pour very last. So that's going to be the goal. And then of course I got to get my tracks and stuff lined up too. So that's where I'm at on the update. I do have a mail call. I've been hanging on to a couple of packages from a couple other YouTubers that they sent me. So I do want to go ahead and get those open today, and I am going to go do that in a different room of the house. So let me go grab those packages, and I'll get the boxes opened up at least, because it's just me by myself. And we'll see what was sent. So I'll be back here shortly. Alright, so now I'm back, and what we have is 3 packages. So this one came from Lynn McCurdy, this one came from Joe Rader, and I actually ended up meeting in person Mr. Bill B from the Ozark, Midland, and Southern. He's an O-scaler, but he was kind enough to give me a whole box of Midwest cork. I believe it was a whole box. I think he said it wasn't even open, so I have that box put up. But he also gave me a couple of other items in here as well. And I have seen those. And so I am excited for these items in here. But I have no clue what Joe Rader sent me. And I think I know what Lynn sent me, but I'm not 100% sure. He might have threw some extras in there, and I don't know. So these 2, even though they're open, I literally just opened it with my pocket knife here. But I have not looked and seen what the contents on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and start with Lynn's first, because he did send me his package before Joe's, and then I will do Joe's second. So let's see here. See what Mr. Lynn McCurdy sent my way. Oh, wow. Okay. Check this out. It's a sticker. High Desert Modular Model Railroad Club. HDMMRC. So that's pretty cool. I'm seeing a locomotive here. Oh, this is a Rio Grande. Okay. And this is... Oh, this is a neat piece. Manufacturer, I don't know. But I want to say Rio Grande and Southern Pacific was the only railroads to have this type of locomotive. And this is called a Cross Maffei or Maffei or Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider. He's German. He would know how to pronounce it. But yeah, these are really, really cool locomotives. I'm not sure if this is something Lynn sent to me for me to keep, or if he sent this to me for me to put a decoder in. I don't know. So Lynn, you'll have to get with me on that. But this is a really, really neat piece. So I'm going to set this off to the side. But I think this one here, this is the one that I knew that he was going to send to me. And because he sent me a picture of it and asked me if I wanted it, and I said yes. And it is a passenger car, and it looks like one of the coupler boxes popped off, but that's no problem. I like body mounted couplers anyways. Alright, so this is a pretty neat piece. This is called a combine. You have your baggage on one side, and then you would this side over here would be like a coach or a chair car. Manufacturer, man, I have no clue who manufactured this one. And it looks like the coupler boxes were glued on. So that would explain why it popped off. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's a little bit of glue residue. So that explains why on that one. But yeah, that's a pretty neat little passenger car. There's no details. It's really, I mean, it's cleared out on the inside. I mean, you can see. But that's a pretty cool little piece there. That would be, I would think that would be pretty cool to go behind my Doodlebug. So, I don't know if Cotton Belt ever had any of these, but this is a really, really neat piece. So thank you, Lynn, for that one. And I don't see the other coupler box with the coupler, but that is okay. I can always do that stuff myself. So I'll go ahead and set that back in the box. I'll set the Cross Maffei in there as well. Alright, so let's see what Joe Rader sent me, because I have no earthly idea. He just sent me a box out of the blue. It just showed up to my house, and I was like, okay. So, of course, we got some peanuts in here for Sparky. Sparky 107 likes the peanuts. Okay, so I have a Atherton Blue Box kit. Oh, and I see a letter in there too. So let me set this down. And let's check out the letter. Let me read it first before I read it to you. Okay, so this is what Joe said. Jason, hope this fits your era better than the other car I sent. Build date 1954. That definitely fits my era. And by the look of this box, I am going to assume that it's probably a 40-foot box car from the Black Rock Central. And that's if I can get this case open one-handed, because I'm having to hold the camera in the other hand. Alright, I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I got the box lifted, and I made sure not to cheat, because I want you to hear my reaction when I open this box. But I have a good feeling this is going to be a Black Rock Central box car, because Joe did send me a 50-foot one, but I think it was the build date on it was just too new. That doesn't fit my era. And I do run some 50-footers, but most of the 50-foot box cars that I have running on my layout are either insulated box cars that are plug door, or they're double-doored box car, and they're for automobiles. They would carry actual, like, 3 vehicles in that box car. So I do have some of those. But I mostly run 40s on my layout. So here we go. Oh, don't want to lose it. Don't want to lose it. It's starting to slide off my box here. Oh, that is a really, really cool car. Oh, that is neat. Oh, that is neat. So this is a plug style door. So this would be like an insulated boxcar. I'm gonna move all this over so that way the box lid. Okay, let's see there. So he did put a new date of January of 1954. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. But the new date is right here. So that is pretty awesome. Yeah, RB. So, oh, this is a reefer. Okay. That's even better. So Joe's going to allow me to send beer in this thing. Or produce. Many different options, Joe. You'll have to let me know what you want me to send in this one. And from my understanding, this is not an Athearn Blue Box. This looks like an AccuRail. So, which AccuRails are good too. I like AccuRail. But yeah, I think you did an excellent job on that. That's really neat. So the Black Rock Central. That's very cool, Joe. I greatly appreciate this. And yes, it will definitely get some runtime on the layout. That's for sure. So thank you so much. Alright, now the last package. And like I said, this one here, I've already seen these. But what I ended up getting was a couple of Walters kits. And these did come from the Ozark, Midland, and Southern. So the link to all three of these channels are going to be in the description of the video. Alright, so this was actually a building kit that I was looking at buying in the past, and I never ended up buying it. But this, guys, this is a great backdrop building. If you want a little bit of 3D, for HO scale, it only comes out 3 1/4 inches from the wall. So, in my opinion, great backdrop building. And this will probably end up going in Brinkley. I think this would be a good spot to tap off of the interchange yard. So, pretty cool building there, for sure. That one will definitely get some use. This one here, we got a Valley Growers elevator. So, this is going to be like a co-op elevator. So, this is pretty neat as well. Not exactly sure where I'm going to put this on the layout. It might go on the bottom level. Or what I might end up doing is maybe I might build this one and put this one where Riceland is located and find a better home for Riceland. I think that's what I might end up doing. But that's pretty neat, man. That's really cool. Dimensions. Elevator with the storage bin. We could put the storage bin in front of the track. Or put a storage bin on the backside, beside it. So many different options. It comes with a little office too. Like that. So, yeah, I think that's what I might do. I think I might put this where Riceland is currently located. But I would still call it Riceland. It would be one of their smaller branches. So, I would have to distinguish, is it Riceland and Wiener, or is it Riceland in Pine Bluff? Pine Bluff will be on the bottom level. So I'm going to have to see if I can't find a place to put this on the bottom level. So I think that's going to be pretty neat. So, Mr. Bill B, thank you. Thank you so much for these kits. And he did tell me that if I did not use these kits to give them away as prizes, that is what he did tell me. But like I said, that one there, I know for a fact I've got a spot for it. This one here, I'm going to toss some ideas around. So I might have a place and I might not have a place. So we'll find out. Brinkley would be another good spot for that one too. So that's something that we'll have to figure out. So, all right, guys. Well, other than that, that's all I've got for this layout update. I appreciate the gifts. And Lynn, let me know about that locomotive. Is that one that I'm doing a install in for you, or is that one a gift to me? So make sure you let me know on that one. Either way, good with me on that. But yeah, other than that, that's all I've got there. Guys, I would like to encourage you, to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel. That helps out more than anything else, is that thumbs up button. So make sure you hit that thumbs up. You know, and if you do like what you're seeing and you want to see more of it, then that's when I'm going to encourage you to subscribe and fill in the bell. And then if you want to see even more stuff like behind the scenes stuff, then that's when I would encourage you to check out my channel memberships. So, but other than that, y'all be safe out there. Y'all have a great week and happy railroading.